right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Torrential rain wreaks havoc all across the bi-state.
This is like a raging river when we looked out this morning.
A dam breached in the Metro East and rising creeks forcing many from their homes on both sides of the river.
We're really knocking on doors. We're like, hey, you don't have any more time. Like, we need to get going.
Tonight, live team coverage of the impact and aftermath. Tonight, we're learning today's flash flooding has turned deadly. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. We remain in a weather impact alert tonight as the rain is finally moving out of St. Louis. Storms stalled over the region today, causing the water to rise as fast as it came down. The storms even prompted some tornado warnings. Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
All right, so we're staying in our weather impact alert through the overnight areas for areas south of St. Louis, not in the metro area. Any threat for stronger storms or heavier rainfall has pretty much shifted well to the south of us now. We'll keep that going until about 3 o'clock. Nothing on the radar right this moment that scares us at all. Isolated gusts possible to about 50 to 60 miles per hour, but we're thinking that chance is better in far southern Missouri, but we're still concerned about any heavy rainfall that may fall down to the south of St. Louis. You see a tremendous amount of ground clutter around St. Louis. That's okay. No rain showing up there. We've had a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms develop down here, not too far from Farmington, over to the south of Perryville. They're drifting off to the east. They're not severe, not especially widespread, but you can see another one trying to go up there close to Potosi. The main area of heavier rainfall is farther to the south. So again, anything for the remainder of tonight will be farther to the south in areas that didn't see so much in the way of heavy rain today. That axis of intense rainfall was along the Interstate 64 corridor during the day today and really right up the Mississippi River towards Alton up into Jersey County. 6.85 inches in Shiloh, 6.59 inches in the rain gauge over in portions of Washington County, around Nashville. The radar actually indicated as much as 8 inches of rain in the 12-hour period ending this afternoon. So the best rain chances really have shifted farther to the south. The threat level for flash flooding and severe weather is lower overall now. There's still a chance we could see a spot shower or storm on Wednesday, but that doesn't look very impressive. So while we're not completely letting our guard down, Mike, it does look like the threats have diminished considerably from what we were looking at earlier today.
And Scott, flash flooding turned deadly in Jersey County. Authorities say an elderly couple was killed in floodwaters in the area of Beltrees and Fessler Roads. A woman was found inside a submerged car. A man was found dead in Piasaw Creek. Their identities have not been released. Another man was rescued from a nearby car.
The heavy rains overwhelmed the Nashville, Illinois reservoir, spilling over the dam and blowing away the secondary dam. Washington County officials had to evacuate about 200 homes and had to rescue several people from rushing floodwaters. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski is live from Nashville with the latest. Laura.
Kelly, the good news is the Army Corps of Engineers came through and they evaluated the Nashville Dam, and there is no longer an immediate threat, but there are still some roads closed, so they want people to be extra careful because some of them were quite literally washed away. Even this area where I'm standing right now was underwater just hours ago.
Every piece of furniture that you see in here floating all over the place. And it was, you know, and that's the thing is, like, you think about how heavy this right here is. A pull-out couch.
Erica Eaton says she was at her family's shed near the Nashville Reservoir working to fix up her RV when the rain came pouring down. At first, she didn't think anything of it.
And then I decided I was going to take a little nap. I wake up at about 8:15 and there is water up to my ankles.
In a matter of seconds, the water was up to her calves. And when she realized she wasn't going to be able to make it out on her own with her 2 dogs and cat, she called 911.
So about 20 minutes after I was on the call, the water had gone from just below my calf to above my waist. And at that point, the lady's, you know, she's trying to tell me, you know, we have to look for a boat.
Washington County Emergency Management says the water was rushing out of the dam so fast.
There was enough water that the secondary dam, which is a sand earthworks, blew away.
It was even hard for first responders to reach her by boat. Erica had to think just as fast as the water, grabbed her pets and loaded them up on a foam dog bed that somehow floated with all 3 of them on board so she could wade through the floodwaters to the boat that finally made it.
At that point, you know, it's like when you see the boat, I'm like, I'm fine now, because I know they're coming to get me.
And while she and her fur babies are safe, she lost everything she had stored there.
These are the things that have like all of my photos and memories and all that kind. It's just all wet.
She was just one of the hundreds of people who had to escape the flash flood.
I think the community is very strong. I love the volunteers that we have in this community.
And without them, Erica says she wouldn't have made it out.
That was one of those moments where you know this is where people die.
Washington County Emergency Management says Trinity Lutheran Church will remain open for shelter overnight, and that will continue as long as necessary. And again, they want people to stay off the roads and be safe so no one else is hurt. Reporting live in Nashville, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Crews responded to several water rescues in St. Clair County. We have new video tonight of rescues in the area of North 63rd and Lake Streets in Cahokia Heights. This is near Frank Holton State Park. You can see neighborhood streets were completely covered with water. Fire crews showed up to rescue a couple after floodwaters overtook a Jefferson County RV park. It was moments after park owners went door to door warning campers of the rising waters.
5 on your side's Brent Solomon caught up with the couple, and he is live at the park. And how are they right now, Brent?
I tell you what, people who live in this mobile home or RV park, I should say, off of Highway 141, they're breathing a sigh of relief tonight. There is a sense of calm after the storm that really caused a lot of disruption today. Take a look.
I see my house sitting in a bunch of water.
It's not the afternoon people at the Covered Bridge RV park expected.
It's a mess. It came up so fast.
Take a look as floodwaters rushed so high and quick.
It was at my knees.
Yeah, at least a couple feet.
It prompted fire crews to show up to help Charles Lawrence and his wife get out.
And I looked out the window. It wasn't raining. I looked out the window and I told my wife, I said, I can see the creek from here. I said, that's not a good thing. And about 15 minutes later, here we were. Fire department was out here. And
staff here tell me this has happened before.
We had one like this back in 22 that happened in the middle of the night, but nothing like this.
This isn't our first rodeo, so we went around, we started knocking on doors, prepping people.
Owner Phil Tracy says he and his team quickly worked to make sure the park was safe. And when things got intense,
and we're really knocking on doors, we're like, hey, you don't have any more time, like, you need to get going. There were some people that were not home and their rigs didn't move. There's gonna be a couple that it might have got inside their camper. There's a couple cars, a couple vehicles that didn't get out either that might have gotten water in them.
Although a little startled by it all, Lawrence is counting his blessings.
we got out okay. Everybody's safe. Dog got out. It's really all that matters.
Oh, Mother Nature just doing her thing.
It's just crazy how fast it happens.
And the community here was worried about another round of storms coming through before the floodwaters were able to recede. Fortunately, that wasn't the case. Everything is pretty much back to normal here tonight, and folks are hoping they won't have to relive what they experienced today anytime soon. Live in Jefferson County, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
And in St. Charles County, fire departments made multiple water rescues today. Fire Chief John Schneider with the Central County Fire says they rescued 11 people, including 2 children. They pulled people from stalled cars and even their own homes. Crews also responded to a lightning strike on a house and a tree slamming into another home.
It was 90 minutes of hard work. I'm sure they're all resting tonight, and we have some more rain coming in this evening. So be prepared, be vigilant, and take care of yourself.
Multiple drivers say they got stuck because they weren't expecting the road to drop off.
Remember, the Weather Impact team is always here to keep you prepared. You can get the latest on air on 5+ and on KSDK.com. And you can always get the latest Weather Impact forecast just by texting this word, weather. That easy. 314-425-5355.
Just minutes ago, Republicans just wrapped up day 2 at the RNC in Milwaukee.
3 of former President Donald Trump's primary challengers took the stage tonight in a show of party unity. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live outside Fiserv Forum right now. Mark.
Mike and Kelly, good evening. Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis delivered the keynote addresses here tonight to show that united front in a previously fractured party. But Why here? Why do all this in Wisconsin? Well, the Badger State is a big battleground in Decision 2024, and Republicans know they have to flip this swing state from blue back to red after President Biden won a close call here 4 years ago.
Wisconsin is going to be a critical battleground state in 2024.
The host and moderator of Meet the Press, Kristen Welker, said Wisconsin and its prized 10 electoral votes can make all the difference in who sits in the Oval Office.
President Biden won it back in 2020 by 20,000 votes. So Donald Trump is determined to win it back. This is what the Democrats, part of their blue wall.
I'm not sure this is the blue wall. I mean, but President Trump has done very well in Wisconsin. We have a U.S. Senator here, Ron Johnson, that no one thought would win 2 U.S. Senate seats, and he won.
Illinois Republican Congressman Darren LaHood cheered Donald Trump's Rust Belt running mate as a messenger made for the Midwest.
We think about the Midwestern states that we have to win, that President Trump has to win. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio. J.D. Vance will play very well there.
What does Wisconsin want in a president?
Somebody who will protect and support jobs in America, which is jobs, manufacturing jobs in Wisconsin. They want somebody who's going to lead us, close the border.
Delegates from Georgia, another swing state, say Joe Biden's presidential prospects have soured significantly in the South since this time 4 years ago.
We're going to rock and roll in Georgia. Donald Trump Georgia is Trump country, and it's done in Georgia. Joe Biden's not going to win in Georgia.
President Biden addressing the NAACP in yet another swing state of Nevada.
We all have a responsibility to lower the temperature.
4 days after a would-be assassin took aim at his political rival, Biden challenged Republicans to reconsider their stance opposing tighter gun laws.
So, if you want to stand against violence in America, then join me in getting these weapons of war off the streets of America.
As President Biden turns his eyes towards campaign issues like capping the cost of rent, reforming the Supreme Court, and passing tougher gun laws, other Democrats like New Jersey Senator Cory Booker are highlighting who isn't here in Milwaukee, namely former Vice President Mike Pence and almost everyone in former President Trump's cabinet, many of whom said he was unfit to serve in office.
And Mark, Mike Pence's replacement takes the grand stage tomorrow night. So what are you learning about J.D. Vance?
Yeah, J.D. Vance's arrival into this race really energized Democrats. They've given the Democrats someone to attack on the campaign trail here. They're jumping at the chance to highlight his positions on abortion or on January 6th as extreme. But in a race when Joe Biden, the oldest president in American history, is on the other side of the ticket, this 39-year-old, fresh-faced, young vice presidential nominee adds a jolt of youth to this race as well. Live in Milwaukee, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Mark. And Mark will be live at the RNC all week. Catch reports on air on KSDK.com and on the 5 Plus app. He'll also be at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago starting August 19th.
From wow to how. New information tonight on the cause behind a giant sinkhole in the Metro East and the demand for more answers.
We didn't expect it to come up so fast.
A local animal shelter overtaken by flash flooding. The brigade of volunteers who formed a life-saving line.
A weather impact alert will continue through the overnight hours for our southern counties, where the focus for additional thunderstorms will be overnight, and the weather for tomorrow. If you're cleaning up, what Tuesday's storms left behind.